welcome to everyone who's joining us today. Please can you bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. And if you'd like to sit on a cushion, or if you have a block nearby, you can sit on your block. If it's okay to sit directly onto the mat, you're going to either have your legs crossed or extending out in front of you, whatever you find most comfortable. Taking a mudra of choice, forefinger and thumb to join is quite a nice one, lengthening out through the arms and lifting up through the back of the spine. Gently close your eyes and take a few minutes at the beginning of the practice just to settle into our space. Taking note of your physical body, taking note of your mental, emotional body, and feeling how the breath is the bridge between these two bodies. Every inhale helps to activate, and every exhale helps to ground. Allow your breath to deepen and lengthen. And where you feel tension, soften into that space. Where you feel compression, lengthen into that space. Allow the breath to become regulated, long, slow, and smooth. Equal inhale and equal exhale. Setting an intention for today's practice. Placing that visual image of your intention into the space between your eyebrows, so that you gaze inwardly and upwardly using the internal eye. We'll move into a few rounds of alternate nostril breath. Bringing the right hand to the face, the thumb comes to the right nostril, the ring finger to the left nostril. The two middle fingers can either touch the forehead or curl in. Leaving both nostrils open, take a deep inhale breath. Deep exhale through both nostrils. Block right, inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Block left, exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. That's one round, taking another 4 rounds. the end of your last round, release your hand back to your knees, sitting quietly. And just connecting into the effects of your pranayama. And on the exhale breath, you're going to slowly walk your hands down in front of you, lowering the elbows towards the mat. Let your head drop and round into the spine as you release. On your inhale, roll the spine back up to sit, lifting tall, and then floating the arms up to the sky. Soften your shoulders away from your ears as you lift up nice and tall. Let's interlock the fingers overhead and get another deep stretch from the base of the spine right up to the crown of the head. Draw the shoulder blades back and down, opening the heart. Lightly holding onto the left wrist as you lean over to the right side. Turn the gaze underneath your left arm and move the shoulders away from the ears. Let's inhale back up to center, lifting tall and switching over to the other side. Inhale. Slide the hip down to the floor as you stretch through the side body. Inhale, lifting back up to center. Draw the hands behind the back. Interlock the fingers, open up through the chest and shoulders here. And then exhale to release. Let's switch the legs around, bringing the other leg in front. On the inhale, floating the arms up to the sky. And then this time bringing the elbows into cactus. Inhale. Lift the chest, draw the elbows back and down. And then extending the arms out to the side. Let's flick the fingers a few times. And then rolling into the wrists. Change the direction of the roll, other way around. And then exhale to lower the left elbow to the floor as you extend through the right arm overhead. Let your opposite hip hang down towards the floor, letting that knee anchor you to the earth. Inhale to lift up and over to the other side. Inhale, lifting up to center, float the arms up, and then extend the hands forward, coming over onto hands and knees, rolling over the shins. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, and flowing through a few rounds of cat-cow pose here. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lifting the face and the hips, drawing the shoulder blades back. And then exhale to round your back, tucking chin to chest, squeezing in through the abdominal muscles. Inhale, dropping down, open up through the heart. And exhale to round the back. Flow with the breath. So as you start your breath, you start the movement, utilizing the full breath to move through either your cat or your cow. So as you finish the breath, you finish the movement, finding a gentle pause in both the breath and the body. And you're going to inhale, come back into your neutral spine, floating up right arm and left leg into spinal stretch. Engage into lower belly and extend the hand and the heel. As you exhale, coming into tiger curl, drawing knee and elbow to meet, rounding the upper back. Inhale to extend into neutral, so no arch, and then exhale to round. So we're just working the cat movement, not the cow. As you extend, you come into neutral spine. Flow with your own breath. as fast or as slow as your breath takes you. Coming in one more round, you're going to hold the knee and elbow towards each other. Round into the back a little bit more. Tuck your tailbone. And then inhale to extend. Reach your hand back, holding onto the foot behind you, and then lifting your foot up. Turn the gaze forward. Kick the leg up and back. And then inhale to extend. Exhale, just the hands to the mat. Inhale, draw the leg out to the side. Kick the heel away. And then place the foot down, more or less in line with your standing knee. Toes are pointing forward. You're going to walk the chest down into melting heart. Either letting the head hang or the forehead come to the mat. If you have a little bit more space, you can start to slide your chest and chin towards the floor. Walk the hands just a little bit in so you have a bit of purchase into those hands. And you're now going to slide the right arm under the chest, threading the needle and holding onto that extended leg wherever you can reach it. So maybe the calf, maybe the ankles, maybe the toes. Turn your gaze underneath your left arm towards the sky. Make sure your neck is in a comfortable space. Let's release from the pose, bringing both arms out in front of you, and then walking the hands back in underneath the shoulders. You're going to lift your extended leg up to the side, and then swing it back behind you. Bringing that top knee now to the outer edge of your supporting knee, so you're almost in an eagle cross with the legs. And you're going to slide the hips back, coming into a cross-legged child's pose. And then inhale back into neutral spine. Coming into your tabletop alignment. Just shift around to make sure you've got the correct alignment here. We're going to take up left arm and right leg. Engage into lower belly, firming into the tummy. And it's exhale, knee and elbow to meet, rounding the back. Inhale to extend. Exhale, lift from the core. Inhale, reach into neutral, so don't arch at this point. And exhale to curl in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, reaching in. One more to extend. And then let's exhale, hold it in. Round into the back, tuck your tailbone. Round the shoulders. Inhale to reach. And this time grabbing the foot behind you. And then lift the heel up to the sky. Turn the gaze forward so the chest is opening, creating an arch from the front of the forehead all the way down the front body up to the back knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale, just the hand to the mat and draw your whole leg out to the right side. Releasing the foot to the floor, heel more or less in line with your knee, and taking this into melted heart. Head hanging, face to the mat, or maybe chest and chin to the mat. Walk the hands in just a little bit to get them purchase, And then sliding the left shoulder underneath into threaded needle. Holding onto the foot in any way that you can reach it. Foot, ankle, calf. And then turning the gaze up towards the ceiling. Let's release both hands in front and then start to walk the hands back in under the shoulders. Lift the leg to the side, swing it behind, and then come to hook behind your supporting leg into eagle. Sitting the hips down towards the heels and melting the torso over the thighs. On your inhale, returning to tabletop. Bring the hands one space forward, tucking the toes under, and then lift your hips up and back. Sit heavily into the feet and get your rib cage towards your thighs. From here, start to straighten the legs as you reach your hips up and back. If you'd like to take some movement here, maybe heel toe the legs, maybe working into the ankles or the toes. If the neck feels tight, you can gently oscillate from side to side, undulating your spine in any way that makes sense to you. Find Ujjayi breath, find your bandhas. And then let's bring the heels down towards the earth. Doesn't matter if they don't touch, as long as they're anchoring towards the earth. On the inhale breath, taking the right leg up to the sky. Let's roll the ankle a few times. And then rolling in the opposite direction. Exhaling, knee to face, face to knee. Look between the hands and then step the foot in between, closer towards the right side. Sink your hips nice and low as you lift the chest open towards the front of your mat. Very light on your fingertips. As you inhale, stepping to the front of the mat into flat back. And then exhale to forward fold. Inhale, undulate the spine, flat back. And a second round of forward fold. On the inhale breath, draw the hands together, lifting all the way up into Tadahastasana. Interlocking the fingers as you turn the palms up. And then inhale up onto the tips of the toes. Let's exhale, heels down, hands through the midline towards the ankles as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Releasing the hands down as you step through the right leg. And then this time dropping the back knee to the mat and sliding the hands onto your front knee. You might want to heel toe the front heel a bit further away. And then start to slide into that back hip, opening up through the chest. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Exhale to release the hands, lifting your back knee off the mat and stepping into plank. Become very light in your plank. It's engage into the core, engage into the glutes, float the body tall. Lowering knees, chest and chin, holding here. Wrap the shoulder blades back, engage the tummy. Coming back into plank. Inhale, arms straight, exhale, legs straight into plank. And let's come down, knees, chest and chin for a second round. And inhale, lower all the way to the tummy. Reach the hands in front of you, hooking your thumbs. Remember which thumb is on top. And then on the inhale breath, lifting up arms and chest. Keep the legs on the floor for this round. Reach your toes back, reach your head forward. Exhale, release the hands down, tuck the toes under, squeeze the glutes. Let's inhale back into plank. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Taking the left leg to the sky. Roll that ankle clockwise. And rolling anti-clockwise. Exhale, knee to face, face to knee. Looking between the hands and step the foot next to your left thumb. Sink the hips low, lift the chest high. And then inhale forward, flat back. Open up through the heart. Release the spine as you forward fold. Inhale, undulating, lifting back, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Joining the palms together and reaching the hands all the way up. Interlock the fingers, turning the palms to the sky. And then inhale up onto the tippy toes. Exhale the heels down, hands through the midline towards the mat or the ankles. And inhale, lifting halfway up, flat back. Exhale the left leg into low lunge, sinking the hips low, lifting the chest high. And then exhale the back knee down into crescent, sliding your hands to your front knee. Adjust your stance accordingly, and then opening up through the front body. Start to elongate into the elbows a little bit, lifting the chest. Make sure there's no compression in the lower back here, so you need to lift the pubic bone slightly to create space in the lumbar. On your exhale, bringing hands to the mat. Lift your back knee off the floor, and then stepping into plank. Become light in your plank. Engage the legs, engage the core. Lowering knees, chest, chin. Lifting back into plank. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, legs straight. Let's take it for a second round. Knees, chest, and chin. And this time sliding to the tummy. Switch the thumbs around, different thumb on top. And this time taking the legs off the floor as well as the arms and the chest. Focus on length and then on height. Let's exhale the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, engage the core, inhale, back into plank, and exhale into downward facing dog. Step the feet a bit closer together, taking the right leg to the sky. Keep your hips square. Lift your heel, square the hips, and make the body as long as you can. As you exhale, you're going to hug knee to face, rounding the back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knee to right upper arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knee to left upper arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knee to face. And then step the foot between the hands into lunge. Rounding the back as you roll yourself up. High lunge. into the pubic bone, lengthening the lower back. And then drawing the hands behind you, interlocking fingers. You're very welcome to drop the back knee to the floor here if that's more appropriate for you. We're working into creating space in the upper body, space into the chest. Try not to lift the chin too high, allowing the neck to find space. Start to tilt the weight forward, halfway down. So you're reaching heels ahead in a straight line. Start to shift the weight over the front foot, and then float your back leg up into Warrior 3. Keeping the hands behind the back or down to the mat. We're going to exhale, release the feet, release the hands, forward fold. Inhale, lifting the hands all the way up. Interlocking fingers, turning the palms up. Inhale up to the tips of the toes. Stay on the toes. Bring your hands together at your heart. And start to sink your hips down as you lift your heels up. So we're only going halfway down. It's not into a full squat, it's into a flying chair position. From here, taking it into forward fold. Heels to the floor, hands to the ankles or the mat. Inhale, lifting halfway up, flat back. And then exhale, stepping the right leg into lunge. Dropping the back knee to the mat, keeping the right hand down, inhale the left arm up. Keep this a fairly gentle twist. We're going to be doing quite a lot of work into the lower back today with the back bending, and we don't want to over-exaggerate the twists. As you exhale, bringing the hand to the mat, lift your back knee off the floor, and inhale into plank. Float the body in your plank. You have the option of knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Either way, we're going to lower down to the mat. So lowering all the way to the mat. Bringing the hands next to the hips. On your inhale breath, floating up, arms, chest, and legs. Reach the hands towards the heels. Reach the toes to the end of your mat. Exhale to release, hands under shoulders, tuck the toes, squeeze the hips and the knees, and inhale through plank into downward facing dog. Let's get the feet just a little bit closer together. Taking the left leg to the sky. Work your foot as far back as you possibly can. Keep the chest reaching to the thigh. As you exhale, knee to face, face to knee. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, knee to upper left arm. Inhale, up. Exhale to upper right arm. Inhale, up. Move through knee to face. And then lightly step the foot next to the left thumb. Going to round your back as you curl yourself up into high lunge. Float the back heel off the floor, square the hips. And then bring the hands behind you, different finger on top when you interlock. And focus on creating space in the front body without compressing the back body. start to hinge your weight forward, straight from head to heel. Moving into warrior 3, so you're going to float the back leg up. Maybe bring the hands onto the floor in front of you. Square the hips, kick your heel back, reach your head forward, and then releasing into your forward fold. Hands and heels to the floor. Let's inhale, floating the hands all the way up. Interlocking fingers, turning palms up, and then lifting up onto the toes. Bring the hands together at the heart and start to sink down, lifting the heels as you lower. We're going to keep going, and this time draw the heels to touch, opening the knees out a little bit wider. And you come to sit into your toe squat. So you can now choose to bring the ball of the foot to touch as well as the heel. If that's too intense, just stay with the ball of the feet wider and just the heels touching. Open the knees, lift your spine, breathing deeply into the space. Let's release the hands down, and you just step back with the left leg, adjust the alignment accordingly so that you're in your lunge position. And then leaving the left hand down, take the right arm up. Gentle twist, don't take it too far. Releasing the hands to the mat, stepping back into plank. And again, you have the option of knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the mat. So coming all the way down. And releasing to the floor. Let's take the hands behind the back, interlocking fingers, and rolling the shoulder blades together. On your inhale breath, lifting arms, chest, and legs. Move your head away from the toes. Move the toes away from the head. Reach your hands up off the lower back and open the front body. Exhale, release, hands under shoulders, and slide into a child's pose just for a couple of breaths. Make sure it is a relaxed child's pose. And then when you're ready, coming back into your downward facing dog. Let's step the feet together a little bit closer in down dog, taking the right leg up to the sky. On the exhale, step the foot forward, warrior 2. So the foot lands in between the hands, back heel down, left arm lifts, followed by right. Checking that your front heel lines up more or less with the back arch, and that the back toes are slightly in. Let's sink the front knee down, lift up through the crown of the head. On the inhale breath, reclining warrior. Coming forward, elbow to thigh, sweeping the back arm up and over into Parsvakonasana. And you can take your Pasva as deep as you like, holding onto ankle, bringing the foot to the block or the mat, sorry, the hand to the block or the mat. Maybe taking a half bind, maybe taking a full bind. From here, releasing down through the right hand, up through the left, and then bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. Moving into Skandasana, so you're going to have to turn the toes a little bit wider, sinking your weight into your front foot and coming onto the heel of the back foot. So you're lifting those toes up at the back. Depending on how your Achilles tendon is shaped in that front foot, the heel will either come down or it will stay lifting. Draw the hands together at the heart. If bringing the hands to the heart is too intense, keep the hands on the floor for a bit of extra support. Breathe deeply into the space. If you want, you have the option of twisting. You also have the option of binding. Find a space that works for you. Make sure you can breathe. From here, we're going to release back into our lunge at the front of the mat. So hands come down, you rotate to face forward. So you still have right leg forward, left leg back into lunge. And now lifting your right leg, the front leg, up and back. Three-legged dog. You're going to bend to open the knee into scorpion. Turning your gaze under your right arm. You have the option of staying in scorpion, or you can come down into wild thing by dropping that top leg over and reaching the right hand to the sky. From here, bring the hand back to the mat, floating right leg to the sky. You have the option now of holding in down dog child's pose or moving through a vinyasa of your choice. If you'd like to, you can come through a three-legged vinyasa, keeping the left toes tucked. So you lower chaturanga, inhale, up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Bringing the foot to the floor, and let's drop the knees for a moment into child's pose. Slow your heart rate down. Reconnect to Ujjayi breath. Just take a moment to surrender and connect. And then from here, let's take it back into downward facing dog. Step the feet just a little bit closer together in your down dog. Inhaling the left leg to the sky. And exhale, stepping forward, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Slide the feet away from one another. Keep the internal thighs opening wide. Inhale, reclining. Keeping your chin quite close to your bicep, and then lengthening the back of the neck. Let's pivot forward into Pasva, sweeping the back arm up and over. Push the elbow into the front knee to open the knee wider. Sink your hips a little bit lower. If you'd like to, you can hold onto the ankle, pressing your upper arm against your knee. You can bring the fingers to the floor. You can take a half bind. You can take a full bind, stopping at any point that works for you. Let's come back into the extension if you've bounded. Bring the hands to the inside of the foot. Turn the toes slightly at an angle, coming into Skandasana to the left side. So just adjust your alignment here. You can bring the back foot slightly forward, lift onto the toes or the heel of the front foot. And then really engage into your extended leg. If it's floppy, you're going to really struggle to hold this. Kick the heel away, maybe come into the balance by bringing hands to the heart, maybe taking it into the twist, maybe taking it into the bind. So quite a lot having to work in Skandasana. Ankle stabilizers, adductors, the quads, the hamstrings. And then we're going to release from here, taking it back into your lunge at the front of your mat, so you're rotating towards your left leg. And then coming into three-legged dog. So the left leg lifts up and back. Inhale into scorpion. And you have the option of staying in your scorpion, or maybe you want to come into wild thing. So you can stay on the toes of the bent leg. The straight leg can lift away from you. One more breath here. Let's come back into three-legged dog. And now you have the option of a vinyasa or a child's pose to wait, whatever works for you. And let's have everyone drop the foot down into your downward facing dog. And we'll move into pigeon pose on the right side. So taking right leg up, draw the knee to the outer edge of that right wrist. Slide your back foot a little bit further back. Lifting up through the front of the body, you're going to open up your heart center here. Just take a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly coming down onto the elbows. Check that the lower back is still square. And here you might want to come down onto the hands, or maybe lower chest to the mat. You're going to hold for 10 breaths, so closing the eyes and just slowly connecting to your ujjayi. Start to walk your hands back in towards you. That's going to turn around for the camera. And now you need to sit into your front hip. So you're sitting onto that right glute. You're going to bend into your left leg. And for some of you, that's just going to simply look like this, just simply bending that back leg. For others, you're going to grab hold of your foot or your ankle and hold it quite wide. For others, maybe start to work the heel in towards the side of the hip. So not towards the lower back, but more towards the outer edge of the hip. And for others, you might be able to wrap your elbow around your toes. So I'm nice and sweaty, so I get a nice, easy grip in there, sliding right down into the elbow. If you're very comfortable here, you can take it into a mermaid, bringing the top arm overhead, and then you push your head into your upper arm to help open up the chest. Hold wherever you are, soften the gaze, soften the face. Doesn't matter how deep you go with this pose, just simply bending that back leg is going to give you extra stretch into those quads and into the hip flexors, as well as working into a bit of a back bend. You know, gently release from this space, slowly dropping that back foot down. Bring the hands in front of you, and then lifting up, stepping back into your downward facing dog. Let's take it to the left side. So left foot is coming up, and then bringing the knee to the outer edge of your left wrist. Slide the right foot back. We're going to hold into the upright position for a few breaths. Bringing in activation, so that back leg is quite strong in this upright variation. Keep reaching those toes backwards. If you're feeling discomfort in the SI joint, you need to try and lift a little bit more into the pubic bone. And let it slowly release down, coming onto the elbows. You can stay here. You can come down onto the hands and stay here. Or you can come down onto the chest. 10 breaths. Slowly start to lift yourself up, walking your hands in. Let's take it into mermaid. But now sitting into your left hip. Here to bend that back knee, maybe just simply bend it, maybe hold onto the foot, drawing it in a little bit closer. So there's no rush here, use the exhale to allow the thigh to soften a bit deeper before bringing it in anymore. Don't over exaggerate into the movement, make sure that it is still a space that you can hold, feeling challenge but no pain. And let's slowly release from there. You're going to make your way back into a downward facing dog, hands down, and stepping your way back into downward dog. You're going to walk, step or hop into Malasana, Buddha squat. So walk, step or hop to bring the feet to the outer edges of the hands, elbows to the insides of the knees. You may want to stay on the toes if your Achilles tendons are very tight, so the back of the ankles. You can place a cushion or a roll-up mat underneath the heels if you need that extra bit of support. You want to lengthen the lower back down as you open up through the chest. And we're going to try and sit down to the mat without using your hands. I found this ridiculously challenging for some reason, and I really hope that I manage to do it today. Oh. Feet out in front of you. Use the space you've created in the back to come into Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lifting back up to center. Let's bring the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana. Matching big toe to big toe, baby toe to baby toe. Press the knees down, lift the chest open, gentle forward fold. We're doing quite a few back bending movements today. Try not to go too far in the forward folds after your back bends, using them more as a restorative recovery position as opposed to trying to work deeply into that forward fold. Inhale to come back up to center, draw the knees together, extending your left leg forward, bring the right knee to the outer edge of your thigh. You can keep this leg straight in front of you, or you have the option of bending it to bring the heel next to the hip. Make sure that you're not sitting on your heel though. You want your bum to be flat so that the sitting bones are anchoring. Lift up tall, and let's exhale to twist, wrapping towards the inner thigh. You can wrap the elbow around the front of the shin, or you can drop the elbow to the outer edge of the thigh. Again, this is a gentle twist, don't take it too deep today. Returning to the center, you're going to slide the feet out in front of you again, and then taking it to the other side. So left leg comes in, place the foot to the outer edge of the thigh. You can keep your right leg straight, or you can bend it. Make sure the sitting bones are anchoring down. Let's lift up tall and exhale to twist, wrapping around the front of your shin or dropping to the outer edge of the thigh. Lift your spine up tall and exhale to twist gently. Returning now to the center, straighten those legs out in front of you. Then you're going to slowly make your way to lie down on your back for Shavasana. So if you have an eye bag or if you want to use a blanket, I am sweating away in this Durban humidity, so nothing for me today. Just slowly rolling yourself down. Bringing the hands next to the hips, feet open as wide as the mat. Take a bit of time to make sure that your alignment is supportive. The neck is long, the back is long. You want to come into a self-massage by dragging your fingers up along the back of the tight neck muscles into the protruding part of the skull, lifting the head just slightly and then layering it down to the floor again. Thumbs to the midline of the eyebrows, and then run over the eyebrows to the temples, little massage in the temples. Moving a bit higher this time from the midline, above the eyebrows to the temples again. And you can feel where you want to massage, work into that space. From the midline of the bridge of the nose, up even higher, along the forehead, little massage in the temples. One more time, dragging from the bridge of the nose right up to the hairline, down into the temples, down to the side of the jaw, working into TMJ. And then from there, releasing the hands down next to the hips. Slow, quiet breath. Slowly start to deepen and lengthen your breath. Running your thumb over the tips of your fingers. Moving your toes, your ankles and your wrists. Sliding feet together and extending arms overhead. Taking a deep, energizing stretch as you yawn or sigh. Bending your knees and rolling onto your right side, resting your head to your upper arm. On your inhale breath, keep the eyes closed as you make your way into a comfortable seated position. Drawing hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. We'll close the class by chanting Om once and Shanti 3 times. Taking a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Raising your hands to your third eye. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Lowering your hands to your lips, to your heart, to your mat. Bowing forward in recognition of your practice. Blinking eyes open, inhaling to sit. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me today, and I hope you're all feeling good after a fairly sweaty practice.